All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be comparing two one-stick climbing stick options, both of them offered from Out on the Limb Manufacturing. The first being what used to be my Shikar Mini Modified Stick that I used all last season, and the second is the standard 14-inch step-to-step Shikar climbing stick. The reasons I went with the Shikar Mini Mod in the first place was kind of threefold. The first being, I knew I wasn't going to hunt off of a platform that was attached to the top of my climbing stick. I know there's some pros to that, but there's also a few drawbacks. One, I didn't want to lose the real estate that my Predator platform provided me, especially the distance from the tree to the edge of my platform. And then two, as of last year, there was no on the top of the stick platform that had the ability to adjust the pitch and the angle per the pitch and the angle of the tree. And so for those reasons, I just decided I was going to hunt with my Predator platform as my platform, and then I would have a stick that I would just climb the tree with, and then when I set my platform, I would set the stick just off to the side so I could rotate around my tree. And so because of that, I decided to look for a stick that was lightweight and also packable. And so that's why I landed with the Shikar Mini Mod. And by mod, I mean I added the Schaefer cam cleat that you see here. I added the full-berry rope mod that I made. I added a 3-step aider from Out on the Limb, and then a gear tie. And then lastly, I added the double aider step to the top of the mini stick, making it a 2-step stick instead of a 1-step stick. And so the total weight package of this setup was 1.9 pounds. So sub 5 pounds for my stick and my platform, and I thought that was pretty good. And also the advantage that I had was the Shikar mini stick would then fold the steps and the standoffs down, and this became very, very packable. I have a picture I'll show you here where I laid this in my bow case next to my bow and a bunch of other gear that I packed in there, and so I was able to pack my one-stick setup in my bow case with me, and I thought that was pretty cool. But at the end of the season, I used this about 80 times, I think. I became very familiar with it, and I really, really like it. And I don't even have any complaints with it. But at the end of the season, there was just one question that I had kind of in my mind, and that was this: how long of a post would I need so that I could fold the steps completely down flat in line with the post, like you see right here on this Shikar stick? The downside, if you could even use that word, the downside was that when you folded the steps in, because this post is only a 10-inch post, the steps would land on the Schaefer cam cleat. And so, again, it wasn't even like a make it or break it deal. It was just something in the back of my mind. Okay, how long of a post do I need so that I could fold those steps completely flat? And so at the end of the year, I reached out to Matt from Out on the Limb, and I asked him to take some measurements for me. And what he did was he ended up sending me just the post of this setup here, just the post, but it is the Shawunkar 14-inch step-to-step post. And I don't know if there's a difference between the Shawunkar and the Shikar post. I'm not sure if there is or not, but this is a 14-inch step-to-step, which means the total post distance is 16 inches. And so with a 16-inch post, that gives you 6 additional inches over the Shikar Mini. With those extra inches, you are able then to fold these steps completely in line with the post and not touch the cam cleat. But as you can see here, and I'll try to get a close-up here, but as you can see, we get that to zoom in here, right there we go. You can see that right here, there is still a distance, and there's a 1/2 inch distance here. So from the top, when the steps folded, you got a 1/2 inch here, and then you have just over 1 5/8 on the bottom. And so there's still room to play here if you wanted to take some material off of this post to make this even a little bit more compact. So let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of going to the longer 6-inch post. So the two first things that you'll notice right away is the overall length, which is obvious. You're adding 6 inches to the post. And so from tip to tip, when it's collapsed down in transport mode, you're looking at 23 inches. Now, one of the advantages of having the Shikar Mini Mod was I had custom gear modifications add an extra strap on the roll pouch that I was using, and I could attach this thing right to my roll pouch or my dump pouch. And there were times where I did carry it in with my roll pouch, but there was times where I just attached it to my backpack because that seemed to be easier. I still could attach this to my side as I'm walking in. It just would stick out a little bit further. But the only thing, if that was your only means in carrying your stick into the woods, then it might be a disadvantage. But for me, I use the Badlands MRK 2-pack. And so I have 3 ways that I can carry my stick in. One, I can just simply open up this stretch pocket that's generally used for like a Nalgene bottle. I can stick it in the side, and then I can use a compression strap, and it holds that stick very nicely right on the side of my backpack. I also have straps on the bottom of my backpack that I could hold the stick, or I could just stick it right here and use the compression straps on the front of my bag to hold this stick into place. So for me, the extra overall length is not going to make or break my setup because, again, my backpack is very accommodating. And so even though I am gaining length, I'm not necessarily attributing that to a con. And the other thing you could look at as possibly a con is by adding the 6 inches in the post, you are gaining in weight 0.3 pounds. Totally decked out, the Shikar Mini weighed 1.9 pounds, and totally decked out here, this regular size Shikar 14-inch step-to-step with everything you see weighs 2.2 pounds, so 0.3 pounds more, which that's hardly noticeable. Now, some of the gains that you get from having the longer post is when you go to set this on the tree, because now you're 6 inches longer in your post, that means every move you are basically getting 6 inches higher. So if you go 3 moves, then you're looking at 1.5 feet higher. And then if you go 4 moves, you're looking at 2 feet higher than you were using the Mini. So I do like that. That is a plus. But really, the reason I am putting this video together was because I had several guys reach out to me and several guys ask me, how long of a post do you need so that you could go ahead and you could rotate your steps into that perfectly straight line with your post? And the answer is this: you could easily take 1.5 inches off of this 16-inch post and still make it to where you could rotate your steps completely in line with the post. Now, Matt did say he would be worried about kick out on your stick if you had the Schaefer cam cleat right in the middle of your stick, and so that's why he would prefer a little bit longer distance from the top to the bottom. And so at this point in time, I'm really not sure if I'm going to go ahead and remove this bottom step and the standoff and then cut 2 inches off or 1.5 inches and then re-drill. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it for me, to be honest with you. But right now, I am pretty pleased with the packability, the weight, and the total setup that I have with my Predator platform or even my XL. When I get up there, I set my platform, and then I'll put my stick off to the side, and it just gives me an advantage maneuvering around the tree. It gives me the advantage of having an adjustable platform, and so I'm really liking the idea of a slightly longer post so that these fold flat, but then also the gains that it gets me. So as always, if you have any questions, especially for those that had asked me what's the total length and post that you need, if you guys have any questions, something I did not cover, as always, shoot the questions in the comments below, and I'll do everything I can to answer your questions. And until next time, good luck to you.